All right. So, hey, I'm Randy Searles, and I'm a former Green Beret and a Ranger with 20 plus years in the military. And now I'm a ghostwriter, a developmental editor, and a book coach. And I'm here to answer any questions that I can about editing and writing and publishing. And I'm here with my friend Dan Pace, who I also helped a little bit writing his memoirs. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Dan.
Hey, Randy. Thanks for having me back as always. So Dan Pace, retired Green Beret, and now author. So I got four to six books out, depending on how you count it. But I'm working on being a full-time author and trying to figure out all the ins and outs of basically making a living out of something I enjoy doing. So happy to talk to people who are looking to either take their military experiences, and write about them, or looking to write about kind of military themed subjects. And I think you can learn from some of our best and worst practices. So looking forward to the conversation today.
Yeah. And I just started this new community called the Military Editors Rally Point, where sharing pretty much for free all the information I have. I got this chat room where we're gonna meet for weekly on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and then I got a bunch of like typing chat rooms that to discuss whether people can drop questions for editors and talk about military nonfiction, military fiction, military memoir. I'm going to have some documents and some book reviews on books that'll help you write your own stuff, write your own memoirs, and help you, write better. Some craft books, some courses that I've taken or that I know about, and I'd be happy to interview people who've taken courses and see if they worked. I think my main point to open this community wouldn't be just for editors. Obviously, it's trying to attract all the military authors out there so they can meet some of the interns that I trained to be editors, and maybe they can work together. I get a lot of clients who reach out to me from all of the services, but of course, I'm an expert in the Army. But I've trained people in the Navy, in the Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard. And they've all done really well, and they've already started editing people's books. And so, if anyone's looking for someone with those specialties, I'm sure we could find them in here eventually. So that was my goal, and I'm open for anyone who joins. If you got any needs or suggestions, then I'll take them under consideration.
I love it. I think it's great because a lot of times people aren't going to dial into a live show, but they do have questions. And one of the things I really enjoy personally, I know you're the same way, is like just sharing some of the lessons learned. Like a lot of what we've learned has been a little painful to learn, to be honest. I mean, you've got a lot of trial and error, a lot of things that worked that didn't. I mean, we've definitely had a lot of conversations about best and worst practices. And so if we can jumpstart a few people or help get them 6 steps up in the process by just answering some simple questions. I mean, it's a lot of knowledge at this point that I think we gained in this business that I did not have 2 years ago. Or 3 years ago when I first started writing, and it's love to share that. Love to be able to make people a little more successful.
Yeah, I just had an email from a guy from Seventh Group. His name's Jake. He was in the Q course when he found me, and I said, "Look, all right, well, let me help you with your book." So we worked on his book for like a year between like Q course and going to Robin Sage and I think a couple deployments, and then he was almost finished. I'm like, I don't think I should edit your book because I'm too close to it. So let me give you over to one of my interns who's doing a really good job. And they just finished editing his book. He's publishing in July. He's working on the marketing part. I invited him to come tonight, but I don't think he's going to make it. It's kind of last minute. But maybe he'll come next time, and you can throw your marketing advice at him, which would be the goal of this whole thing, is to get these people that are interested in writing, whether it's fiction, nonfiction, memoir, whatever, and be able to kind of answer their questions live. And if they want to drop it in the chat, we can answer it, and then they can watch the video or however they want to get the information. But that's the goal. I mean, that was the goal when we started this 3 months ago. But now I think because this link's going to be the same every time, so
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about changing it on my website every day.
Oh, that's
But
that's a lot easier. That's a lot easier. It's hard for me to get the link every week. If this is the same, that's so much easier.
Yes.
But no, I love it, man. I mean, I'm still fiddling with advertising today. I just had a meeting with a marketing guy that I brought on, and we're working on the A plus content and Amazon, and how does that work with KDP, and how do you actually, fund the different levels of campaign. And again, all hard fought knowledge, all costs money and time. Happy to share that to try and buy something down for some other dude who's just starting out and wants at least some ideas about what works. Still a lot to learn, but we're getting there.
How's the book coming along?
It's doing good, man. KDP. So I will say that a month and a half in, KDP, which is Kindle's Kindle Direct Unlimited, which means that basically people could check your book out for free as long as they have a subscription to Kindle, and then you as an author get paid by the page. I really think that was a good idea. Like, it's driven up. So it's weird. I have fewer technical sales, but when you put in the KNP pages read, I have way more sales. And so between checkouts and sales, I've actually made a good bit more, probably 100% more than I made with the last launch, and it's still pushing strong. And so it also gives you access to a whole bunch of tools. Like, if you get bored later, check out the book's webpage on Amazon. You'll see that it's got what they call A plus content, which means you can customize the page to make it look cooler and more credible. And you can use like video ads and some other stuff to really get your brand out there. So it, are we playing to the giant, Jeff Bezos machine? We are. But the reality is he sells a lot of books, and there's not a lot of other places where they sell lots of books. So I'm happy to kind of play that game. It seems to be working so far.
Excellent. That's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you.
It's
When's the
coming,
next
man. It's coming.
when's the next book?
Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit. I'm probably a third of the way through the first story of the next book. So I got to do 10 stories is the goal. I've done the interview on the first story. I'm about a third of the way through writing it. Once I get it drafted, I'm gonna try and phase the process out a little better this time. So like, I'll probably try and, we could talk about this, from a business point of view, but I'm like, all right, Lan, I'm gonna hand you stories one by one instead of all 10 at once. So how do we kind of step through the editing process so that as we're lining up interviews and writing, I can also be editing on the other side, and then kind of make it smooth out. It's gonna take a while to interview all those people, and so I want to find a way to kind of make that flow. But it's coming. It'll be a good book when it's launched. It'll be really good.
Okay. I mean, I think that'd be good too. So like when I look at your like first story, I'll say, okay, here are some like elements that if I teach you these elements, you'll do better in the next one, and it'll be less work
Mhm.
for me, and you'll get it closer to perfect on the first try.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just cleaning up the writing. It's like writing short stories instead of writing a book. It is exactly writing short stories instead of writing a book, I guess. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Um, but I'm optimistic. It's a different flavor, but I'm really enjoying writing about other people's stories. It's a lot of fun. And man, there are a lot of good ones out there. A lot of crazy ass, like, crazy stories. Anyway, I got one guy approached me. He's like, "Hey, I got a great story in Iraq with an orangutan and a retarded guy." I'm like,
Oh,
I I just want to hear I want to hear that story. Let's record that story. Like, just tell me. I mean, he's one of the task force dudes, over there, kicking in doors, and they're like, how did you encounter an orangutan? Like, what does
in a,
that even look like? I want to know. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. There's gonna be some good ones in there.
I got a story with a rhinoceros, a giraffe, and a
Exactly. What did somebody tell me yesterday? The Special Forces National Association convention is here this week in Eglin, so I've been listening to old war stories the whole time. And a line that I loved was one guy said, "No great story ever started with a salad," and I think I might use that as the entry or the intro to the forward to Over a Beer. It's like, no great story starts with "There we were eating a salad." Like, no, drinking a beer, and that's when the good stuff happens. And I love that kind of crazy.
unless they're vegan now, then they got to tell the stories over a salad.
Yeah, that's true. There's no vegan SF guys. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there are.
It's funny.
But
But
what
we
about so?
good.
What's going on with the Circle Project? What's the next phase with it? Like, where does it go from here? Where does the military editors community, where does it go?
What I'm doing here.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So the rally point. So initially, I was just going to provide a bunch of information. You can put tiers in here. I just don't. I don't want to. I don't really want to guard the information. If someone wants to, I have a second tier which is just $10 and you get nothing extra from it. It's just a, hey, I like the information and time you're spending in this, and I'll pay you $10 a month. to continue to meet with you on your editors. And you do. I'm also going to offer sprints, which is basically you join me at basically I think it's 4 o'clock every Eastern time every day, just about. I'm loading up the times right now. The official opening isn't going to be till next week though, and you write in a military community, and I'll start each hour with, hey, what are you guys writing? Put in the chat what you're writing. If it's a lot of memoirs, I'm like, hey, this is what I see in memoirs. Think about this. If you're writing a lot of fiction, I'll say, hey, this is what I see in the fiction. Think about this. And then I'll just give them a little bit to go on, and then we write together as a community. And at the end, we kind of share what we're working on. And there's a lot of communities like that, but there's not one for vets. There's not one for military writers. And a lot of the military.
I'm losing you. I don't know if it's me or you. All right, we lost Randy for a second, but we'll get him back on. I wasn't sure if it was him or me, but at this point, I think it's probably him because I'm still seeing the recording. Um, okay,
All
Randy,
right.
I think we got you back, man.
All right, cool. I don't know how this is going to work, but where did you lose me?
So you were talking about how there wasn't a community specifically for writers,
For
military writers.
military writers, right? And a lot of the interns I train were also want to write, and so I think there's something to be said about a community of people, like-minded people who are writing not the same stories. Everyone's got their different memoir or the different leadership book they want to write, or a fiction book, a military fiction book. Our friend Adam, wrote that about the veteran with the dog, and that was a pretty good book.
It was good. It was really good.
What was it called again? The
The Dark Tower,
the Dark Tower, or the Dark Tower. What is it called? The
the
Dark
Dark
Tower.
Tower, the
Okay.
Dark Tower, yeah, the
Yeah, it's
Infernal
about
Tower, the Infernal Tower.
because it's about Dante's Inferno, right?
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually I read the final version of it. It was a lot better than the first version, and he did a really good job. So I guess he's writing a sequel, right?
I don't know if it's a sequel, but he's working on the next building.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to get this, see if this is of value. I mean, I think I have information that a lot of these people want, because when they call me, they don't know about the publishing world. They don't know about marketing. They don't know about querying agents and things like that. So the idea would be to find military friendly agents, military friendly publishing companies, post their information up here, help them out, try to vet them as much as I can. I mean, there's so many people that want to take advantage of authors, not to mention military authors. I've just seen so many people drop 10, 15, $20,000 for these hybrids, and then sell, like, 100 books and never get their money back. Right. So that's the goal. The goal is to fill this community with information that anyone can use, answer questions in with a large group of people, ideally, which we haven't been successful in doing lately. And maybe I need to do a solo on a Saturday or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know the right idea. I mean, I think you could say that a lot of folks start small in this world and it goes slow for a long time, and then when it picks up, it picks up. So I think, we're consistent, we keep going with it, and then it'll come when it comes. Unfortunately, fortunately, it could be a little frustrating sometimes, but I don't think you can rush it.
No, I think I will do one on the weekends, maybe like at 11 o'clock Eastern, so that the Pacific don't have to wake up that late, and then and just do one on a Saturday or a Sunday, because this is 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock. This is when people are working, right? So for anybody who's active duty, it's going to be almost impossible to come. And for anyone who's retired, who has a job, it's not very likely they'll be able to come either.
Mhm.
So I wonder if I do that, if I do it on the weekend where I don't have to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning, that would be the ideal, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, just to build a community. Also, I mean, help people find me. I don't.
Mhm.
I give a lot of free information as it is right now, but I also this is my job. So if people need a ghostwriter, I just had a Colonel write me about an article that he wants me to look over and rewrite. If it's easier to find me in this community and people start spreading the word, that would be great. If they
Mhm.
want to pay me for all my time and effort in this, that's great too. Um, Really, my real initiative for the payment was just to pay the offset what it costs to run this thing, which is, whatever, a couple $100 or whatever a month. So
No, I think we all want to do this for a living in the end. And if you want to be a writer for a living, or an editor for a living, as the case may be, the reality is, work's work. A lot of it's not just fun and good times, but if something like this can be that combination where you're doing something you find satisfying and providing information to people, but you're actually, earning the money you need to live, then that's gravy. I mean, that's even better.
yeah,
Because I'm still in day job territory. Like I still click a lot of Excel sheets to pay the bills because, even a good month of sales isn't covering nearly enough.
yeah, and I just had a meeting with an intern like an hour ago, a brand new intern, Navy, for the Navy, and I mentioned this, and I said, yeah, we're going to do these writing sprints where everyone can write together, as a community. And she's like, oh, that's great, I'd be into that. And I was like, okay, well, I guess people will be into that. That'd be
One,
awesome. Well, yeah, at least
one.
one person shows up. So yeah, well, I mean, if I don't try it, right, you never know. But there's a lot of communities out there. I mean, I have a friend of mine. She's got 30,000 members. She got over the last 6 years,
It's
and
amazing.
yeah, I think the minimum they're paying is like $20. So what's that? 30,000 times 20 is
60 grand a month. I mean, that ain't
no,
too bad.
no. 30,000 times 20 is
Oh, six
600,000
hundred thousand. Yeah, yeah. That's.
a
I
month.
mean, that's. Well, a fella can live on that. A fella can live on that, right? Like it's a. Yeah.
That'll do if I can get 30,000 vets out of here, but there is, I don't know if 30,000 vets are writing books.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, the reason I write books is because so many vets don't write books, and it makes me sad the number of guys who don't tell stories. So I really want to get those stories out there. But maybe we can help. Maybe we can help guys do that. I've had a couple of people approach about basically what I think is ghostwriting stuff just in the last few weeks. So I know we've talked that on the side. So we'll see. Maybe we can help more people get their stories out there. I can tell the stories of the GY generation a little better.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be here for a couple more years anyway, but I trained another generation to follow up behind me, so that'll be good.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, before we all die of cancer. Gotta get stories out there before we're dead, Randy. It's key.
What's up with your new kids book though?
So let's see, I've got 6 chapters done out of probably 10 or 11. So I've got 6 out of 11 done. My kids' book effort has been a little side rail or derailed because I have a lady who actually, John Alvarez's daughter, the one you introduced me to, she's going to do the audio drama for The Whale and the Kraken. So I have a meeting with her this week. One, I'm almost done recording the It Was What It Was sound files. So I only have a few left. I'll finish those by next week and then we'll hand them to her. And she's going to release that, but she's going to do a full audio drama of The Whale and the Kraken. And so I really want to get those 2 audios out to try and basically just increase revenue streams. And then I'll finish putting the pieces on the Kraken's Quest, which is the sequel, and it should be pretty quick to finish.
Did we talk about audio last time and all the specifications and stuff?
We talked a little about it. We touched on it, but the reality is, let me just for the audience that's watching, it is kind of difficult. There are free options, but it does take a lot of time, and you do need a little bit of a setup. Like I'm in a sound booth right now that just my office happens to have. That works great, but even then, you need a microphone. You need a little bit of practice with how you set your thing up, and then you need to just play with the software because the free software is not terribly user friendly, and so give yourself a learning curve to get all that audio editing power, right? And then give yourself a lot of time. For me, it's about 40 minutes a chapter it takes to read, reread, get straight, and then edit. And you multiply that by 25 chapters is really what I'm looking at for that. And you adds up quick. And before you know it, like it's an investment and it's not something you can do all in one go. So I don't know whether I would recommend somebody contract that out. I know I think the last person I talked to that contracted it out fully paid about $1,500 for it. Not sure how long it would take me to recoup $1,500 on my audiobook. Probably a hot minute. So I'm gonna
Right.
go ahead and do it myself. Also, I kind of like the value, the idea of the author narrating himself. So we'll see. I'll say, I guess I'll tell you more when I get that thing live, and we'll see if it's one profitable, two, satisfactory. Like it's a product and you good.
I saw something about that like Amazon Audible takes like 50%. It's like a 50-50 split or something.
It's pretty heavy. I mean, Amazon's royalty count. So what you end up with is like the hosting, those files are big. And so to host that server space wise is what they're really charging you on. When you host a Kindle book, the longer it is, the more it costs. The more images you have, the more it costs to host, which means you lose royalties just because how much server space it takes. It's just a simple math problem. But the audiobooks, yeah, they take their cut. And if you end up paying somebody else to run it or to do it, or you split the royalties with the guy who does the voice, you just lose that much more. Conversely, I think Audible books sell for a decent amount. Like I think even if you go through Audible where they're doing like the free download, like the KDP equivalent, you make a good bit on them. But this is all hypothesis. So I'll have one live here in a week or two, and then I can tell you more smartly on it. But right now, it's a lot of work. Get it out. I was surprised.
So this is the audiobook for It Was What It Was.
Hmm. Yep, yep. Haven't. And then after that, I'll start the one for It'll Buff Out.
Have you been
Um,
working on it for a year, or you just started working on it recently?
No, probably 6 months though. Like if I were more diligent, and I no kidding recorded a file every day, but you know how life is, it gets in the way, and I kind of hate it, and so it's a task that I have to force myself to do. So yeah, it takes a little time, man. It takes a little time to get done. Been about six months probably since I started,
Yeah.
because you have to have recording conditions too, right? So you can't do it in your garage and have it sound right, or if you do, you need to do all this weird stuff with like padding the microphone and keeping your kids away. And in the end, I can do it at work. I can do it at the end of the day before I go home, and it works okay. But it's a little bit of a production.
Yeah. That makes sense.
See if
I
it's worth
mean,
it.
people don't realize how all these little pieces, like even editing, right? Like, hey,
Hmm.
I want to push this out like in a couple weeks, and can you edit it for me? It's like, well, no, because so this is the thing about editors, right? We always have projects we're working on, so I can't start. Usually, I can't start on your project like right now. I'm booked a month out, or at least maybe two. And then on top of that, it's probably going to, if it's a normal sized book, 80,000 words or more, it's going to take me 30 days to give you good information. You want me to speed read through it? I mean, I'm not going to give you
Yep,
great feedback
yep,
on
yep.
that.
It all takes time, man. Like we've talked before, but the writing process is really like the first 40% of getting a book out. Like actually writing a manuscript, you got a long time left if you want to do it right. And you do, because you need some separation from the writing. You need to let yourself have some space so that when you read it again, you're not just reading something that you already read. And you're going to go through it, at least probably three good times with an editor, and you probably more than that yourself. It takes time. And by the time you start adding other things like, well, let's do the launch, and let's do the DoD pre-publication review, and let's do the audio book, and let's do the cover art. It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a lot to get all that done. It's like a
Yeah.
whole project management plan all by itself, just getting a book out. You need like a Gantt chart and everything. It's it's fun, but it's production.
Hmm. All right.
But we're getting better at it. Getting better at it every time, man. Getting a little smoother every time.
That's true. It did take me a couple of years to figure this editing thing out.
It is, you got to get a system. It's like everything else. You do it once, and if you don't do it often enough, you forget what you did before you do it again. Because when I only publish a couple, like once, twice a year, and so, man, do you retain all the information? Like you got to like write that stuff down so you don't forget. Like, how do I get an ISPN? I forgot. Oh yeah, Bowker. That's right. Until you do it a couple of times, it's hard to. You got to almost relearn it, and this just feels like wasted effort.
Do you register for copyright for your books?
I do. I do register for copyright. I have registered for a trademark. And if you wish to have your phone and email destroyed by law firms asking you and posing as the government to ask you for, then register for a trademark, because I guarantee you will get nuked by 50,000 law firms, all of whom can solve your trademark problems. But the copyright is actually quite easy. Copyright's easy. It's the trademark is much harder. And
Does
I'm
it,
still pending trademark
does it cost money
adjudication.
to copyright?
It does for both. It wasn't much though. Copyright was pretty cheap. I want to say both were no more than like couple $100 maybe tops. I mean, not too bad. I
What are
don't
you
really know what it
what are
gives
you
me.
trademarking?
Sorry, say it again.
What are you trademarking?
I'm trying to trademark my publication logo. So I'm trying to trademark the little gray zone ethics logo, and they give you a response from a lawyer that is completely unintelligible, and you have to run it through like Gemini to translate. Like, what are they asking me? Like, they want you to change this. Like, oh, and you have to submit samples and a bunch of other crap. And again, it's a process and it's painful. But in the end, I mean, I'm not sure that the copyright was even worth it. In the end, if somebody wants to steal my stuff, I feel like we live in the era where somebody will steal my stuff. There's no real protection from that. If somebody steals the whale and the kraken imagery, and there's like Chinese made whale and the kraken t-shirts that come out, then what am I really going to do about it?
Then
Probably
is it
not that much.
good job. You're not now you're in
Exactly. It's flattering. Like, it's free marketing, right? It's like, hey, I guess we're successful. But
so
yeah.
so my wife makes very unique, she makes everything. She's an artist. She makes pottery and with precious
Mhm.
metal in it and stuff, and every single one of them is unique. And her her I guess her schema or whatever was copied by Alibaba, somebody in Alibaba, and they're doing the exact same thing as her, but there's no way to really shut it down. They're like, hey, you're copying me. They're like, no, you're copying me. And I'm like, no, seriously, this is mine. I've had this company open for 6 years. And they're like, no, you're copying me. And then it doesn't matter if you can prove anything or not because they're in China. So
AliExpress doesn't care, right? Or they don't really care that much. It's like, yeah, exactly. Like, Taylor Swift might have the resources to stop that shit, but I do not. So we'll see.
and then someone else just, I mean, it's whatever. And that's what Amazon does too, right? Whatever's selling, they're like, oh, let's make something similar and sell it, and we'll sell it cheaper.
Hmm? Yeah, for
So
sure. So I guess to your question, like, yeah, I mean, I filed for copyright. I do it so I could put the little C in there, but
but I mean,
I'm not sure how much it matters.
what I read is just copyrighted is, I mean, whether you get it an official copyright night or not, it's a copyrighted automatically when you finish it.
Yeah, that's right. And so Amazon, I mean, there are some publication rights, like plagiarism stuff, right? Like, you don't have to copyright your writing to have somebody not steal your writing. But in the end, if somebody runs the whole thing through AI and writes a memoir about, Schmanuel space in Iraq, I don't know what recourse I really would have. So I don't know. I guess I just hope it's fine. Hope it doesn't. And if it does, then hopefully that'll just be free marketing and people will come buy the original stuff. And we'll see. I mean, Metallica is still here, even after all the hissy fit they threw about Napster and all the free stuff back in the '90s when people were stealing all their music. But I mean, they seem to still be okay on royalties. So if we maybe we'll be okay too.
Okay. Well, I think we can end this session now and come up with. Hopefully, we'll have some people next time because I'm going to put this out, this link out everywhere, and that'd be
Cool.
great.
That sounds
But
awesome. I
yep,
enjoyed the conversation as always, man. It's always a good time. Look forward to talking next week and hearing about where this thing goes, and let me know how I can help, of course.
yep. Thanks everyone for showing up. Whoever's listening to this.